I find this just hysterical. 1513 was the year. A fellow by the name of Niccolo Machiavelli was trying to get a job as the advisor to the prince of Italy at the time. And he ultimately didn't get the job, but he wrote this book called The Prince, which was about how princes should govern. And chapter 17 of the book is titled Concerning Cruelty and Clemency and Whether It Is Better to Be Loved Than Feared. He says, coming now to the other qualities mentioned above, I say that every prince ought to desire to be clement and not cruel. Upon this, a question arises, whether it is better to be loved than feared or feared than loved. It may be answered that one should wish to be both, but because it is difficult to unite them in one person, it is much safer to be feared than loved, when of the two, either must be dispensed with. And why is this? He says it's because men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous, et cetera, and you just basically can't trust them, so it's better to have them fear you than love you. He says, nevertheless, a prince ought to inspire fear in such a way that if he does not win love, he avoids hatred. Flash forward to about a decade ago in the movie A Bronx Tale. And here's the long version. Here you got two mafiosa, two mob guys talking to each other. Young guy talking to the older guy, right? The older guy's the mentor, and he's telling the younger guy, here's how you do it, right? Here's the story.
Is it better to be loved or feared?
That's a good question. It's nice to be both, but it's very difficult. But if I had my choice, I would rather be feared. Fear lasts longer than love. Friendships that are bought with money mean nothing. You see how it is around here. I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny. It's fear that keeps them loyal to me. But the trick is not to be hated. That's why I treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just enough where they need me, but they don't hate me.
Yeah. So then flash forward to maybe, 40, 50 years ago. And Chris Christie's mom bouncing him on her knee and saying, son, someday you are going to have to choose between being loved or being respected. Now, you wonder, was that the word? But, respected, feared, it's kind of the same. So, clip number 1, Shano.
The greatest lesson that Mom ever taught me, though, was this one. She told me there would be times in your life when you have to choose between being loved and being respected. Now, she said to always pick being respected.
You give love is fickle. You can't trust love. Are you kidding? You want people to respect you. That's more important. Why? Because they will then what? Well, let's continue the conversation. Here's Chris Christie again.
I believe we have become paralyzed by our desire to be loved. Now, our founding fathers had the wisdom to know that social acceptance and popularity were fleeting, and that this country's principles needed to be rooted in strains greater than the passions and the emotions of the times. But our leaders today have decided it's more important to be popular, to say and do what's easy, and say yes rather than to say no, when no is what is required.
Interesting. I thought the job of a politician was neither to be loved nor to be respected, but to do the will of the people. And if the majority of the people want you to say yes to something, you do so. And if the majority of the people want you to say no to something, you do so. And occasionally there's a judgment call that, where you've got to step out and have some leadership, and then you make a decision. But always saying no? Maybe this is why Chris Christie's state is one of the, number 3 in the nation at the bottom in terms of unemployment rate at 9.6. He's got one of the worst unemployment rates in the country. He's got an economy in the tank. Because he took on, in part, he took on the teachers union. Bust these people up, fire them, send them away, get them off the payroll. Now you don't have people with a paycheck anymore. People don't have paychecks. They're not paying taxes. They're not buying things. They don't buy things. People in the stores are not getting any income. And you know how it kind of echoes through, and all of a sudden you've got an economy like New Jersey. And why they would pick somebody like Chris Christie to come in and, roll him in with a oh, no, I'm not going to do fat jokes. Why they would pick a guy like Chris Christie, basically a mean-spirited, less than candid, shall we say, politician, to give the keynote speech. And what was the keynote? Because a keynote is supposed to be the keynote of a conference. I've given a lot of keynote speeches in a lot of conferences in my life. And basically, if the conference is a conference on, educating our children in the best way possible. I've spoken at a bunch of education conferences. I've written 7 books on education and ADD and things like that. And so, if the job that they give me, if they say, okay, here, we're going to give you a couple grand speaker fee if you'll come in and you'll give the keynote speech, and the title of the conference is how do we improve, improving the quality of our children's education. What that means is, to me, is as the guy who's got to write my own keynote speech and then deliver it, is that my speech needs to reflect what the conference is all about. It's the keynote speech, after all. It's the key note. It's like the main tone in a song. It's like the main theme in the story. And so the keynote speech has to be the speech that kind of summarizes what the conference is all about. It's why we're here. It's what we're all about. It's what we care about. And Chris Christie spends most of the keynote speech talking about himself and about New Jersey. And 1,800 words into it, he gets around to finally discussing this poor schlub who's sitting over on the sidelines, and they kept going to him by the camera, and you could see the look on his face like, when's he going to mention my name? Is he going to mention my name? Do you think he should? I mean, this is the Republican National Convention, this is the coronation of Mitt Romney. And finally, at the end, he's like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, vote for Mitt Romney, please." But don't forget, I'm a guy that is more, I got more people respecting me than loving me. That's the keynote. I mean, what has happened to the Republican Party? Well, I can tell you very simply, it's been hijacked by 23 billionaires, in large part, and a few transnational corporations. But it's like, this is, at a certain level, it's like watching high tragedy. Over at DU, there's a link to the overnight Gallup polls. Romney dropped a point last night. I mean, if I was watching John Kasich bragging about how Ohio is doing really, really well right now, and Ohio, of course, is the auto industry is a major part of Ohio. And who was it who saved the auto industry? And who was it who wrote the op-ed saying, let Detroit fail or let Detroit go bankrupt for the New York Times? Oh, that was Mitt Romney. And who was it who saved Detroit? And it wasn't just Detroit. It was Detroit and Toledo and Cleveland and all the, it was Ohio. And John Kasich was trying to take credit for that last night, trying to take credit for President Obama's stimulus package and President Obama's, bailout or whatever you want to call it, of the auto industry. I just, I watched that thing last night with my mouth open through at least half of it. It was just astounding, the level of mendacity. I don't have a better word for it, that was coming out of the RNC last night.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So enough about 1516 and Niccolo Machiavelli. Let's get on to some of the real issues that are happening here in the United States and pick up a few of your calls, too.